understand your point of view. Now he shifts his attention from all these little things in life, our behavior in particular with the people around us, and he talks a little bit about the more abstract ideas that we follow in our life. Let us say, for example, he has cited an American writer called Thoreau. Remember, when we looked into the theory of essays, how to read essays, I talked about any essayist would not practice his thoughts only. He would always call for an expert's opinion somewhere. He would always give us some evidences from some great people, and he would always quote somebody in his or her essays. This has been seen in the earlier passages that we have studied, like the sporting spirit. Dr. Arnold is quoted there by the writer. Then we have also seen it in Do Insects Sting, and now it is also seen in this particular passage in which the writer is calling out a quotation, or rather quoting quoting Thoreau, who was a very famous American writer, and his quote is, it is quoted here. Look at the quotation marks. Okay, it takes two people to speak the truth. One to speak, other one is to hear. Remember, a single person cannot speak a truth. The truth is only a truth when you speak it and other ones received it as it is. If he or she is agree with you, then only it become truth. Otherwise, it never becomes the truth. That saying that you are true to the world does not prove that you are true. Okay, there must be some agreement to your point of view, whatever you say. Okay, so therefore he says this is very important saying, and it would save a great deal of argument and annoyance in life of people paid attention to it. Further, again, there is a quotation mark. Look at this. It takes two to speak the truth. You have to express it differently to different people. Now, why? What's the reason? He explains to some people with an example. It is an example. To some people, socialism means taking money from those who have money and giving it to those who have none. You might have heard this idea of socialism and communism. Okay, so if there is a word socialism, how do people understand that word socialism? It is a natural and very general understanding for socialism is that if you want to establish a kind of equality among the people, what you need to do, if there are some wealthy people, you need to take wealth from wealthy people and distribute equally among the poor people. Okay, and then there would be equal source of money or equal money to everybody. Okay, this is a loose idea of socialism, but that is how it is understood by the people. This is one idea that people usually understand. The other idea is also there. This the same thing, that socialism, the truth of socialism could be different, and he gives us an example again. To other people, he says socialism means state control industry or commerce. There is another idea of socialism that prevails in the minds of the people, is that all the industry and commerce and from which people may take benefit or make money should be controlled by the state, that is the government, and then government should earn money out of doing all these businesses, and then by earning money they can distribute equal resources to all the people. I mean, there would be no one who would be earning monies in crore, and there would be no one who would be earning money in is 100 rupees only a day. Okay, how would that be achieved? According to some people, if the government undertakes all the industry and commerce in the nation, and because of the money would directly go to the government, the benefit of that businesses would directly go to government, the government can distribute it equally. That is one another idea about socialism. Okay, further he says, to others We cannot tell a man the truth about socialism until you know what he understands by the term. Okay, unless you have any idea about what's go through his mind when he talks about socialism, or what he understands by the term socialism, or whatever he have read or listened about socialism, you cannot convince that particular person for socialism. You know, it would be turn very funny if you talk about socialism, and that example is given. He says that if you say I believe in socialism, असं जर तुम्ही म्हणले की मला सोशलिझम मध्ये आय बिलीव्ह इन सोशलिझम, the person would understand, or he understands, that you mean to believe in robbery, something that is called as Robin Hood style. Okay, you take money from the rich people and give it to the poor people for their uh, well-being. So it is called as robbery in lawful terms, and some people say that it is a Robin Hood style because Robin Hood was a character who would take money from by force from all the rich people, and he would distribute it among the poor people around. Okay, so that is how in society, that is also one of the approaches to understand the socialism, but it is not like that. Okay, therefore writer says you must not be surprised if it takes dislike to you, and because you believe in robbery, okay, taking all the money from the rich people, many people may see that no, that you are not a good person, you do not have any good ideas for the society and well-being of the society, of some of the people, some of the rich people or some of the wealthy people in the society. So you would be also disliked because you approve the idea of socialism. Now socialism is neither of these. Okay, ज्या तीन गोष्टी आपल्याला सोशलिझमच्या विषयी सांगितल्या त्याच्यापैकी एकही नाही, neither of those three. Socialism is altogether a different kind of system in which the government would take the responsibility of all the people, and therefore they would, whatever benefit government would get from the rich people taxes by operating the industries, they would do all the welfare schemes for the people. Okay, and that is how the people of the state, the poor people of the state, would be benefited. Okay, now that is what the idea of socialism is in those way. Okay, there would be many things in that also. Let us say, for example, it doesn't mean that there would be no enterprise or there would be no rich people. There would be rich people, but they would be paying very heavy taxes on whatever they would earn, and therefore those taxes would be used for the betterment of the poor people. Okay, so these are the ideas of socialism. Now further he says, and if that is not what you mean, you did not speak the truth. If you cannot convince that particular person about what your idea of socialism is, all among all these three or four things that we have just discussed about socialism, the last thing that I talked about socialism, it would not be convinced, the person would not be convinced. At the same time, your truth, whatever you want to talk about socialism, that truth would not be conveyed to that particular person. Further he says, if a man says to a friend, good morning Mr. A, and the friend replies, it is not a good morning at all, that the truth, even if morning is bad. Okay, so if somebody saying that good morning to somebody and other person says it is a bad morning, not good morning, do you really feel that there is anything bad in your morning? Because the person might be in the bad mood, but you are not in the bad mood. So his truth is different from your truth. So when we talk about the truth, understand that it is not our attitude that matters, our understanding that is matter, but it is the understanding of the other person that you need to convert into your understanding, and vice versa. त्याला जे वाटतं ते तुम्हाला वाटायला हवं आणि तुम्हाला जे वाटतं ते त्यालाही वाटायला हवं. When this mutual understanding happens, then only the ideas and truths would be conceived, understood, and then there would be agreed upon. Okay, this is very important word, agreed upon. No, to get convinced, or the both of the people, or how the number of people involved in that particular discussion would be only agreed upon if there is someone who can communicate these things properly. So all in all, the writer wants to focus that when you want to convince somebody, you need to make him understand your ideas about that particular thing, and also you need to understand his mind, his mental makeup, so that you can better make him understand about your ideas. Therefore, unless and until something is agreed upon mutually among or between you, you cannot call it called as a truth. And therefore, if two truths are different, there would be always arguments, and there would be always a differences among the people. Okay, fine. In the further paragraph now,